Welcome to Thriving in Construction, where we share insights, inspire growth, and break down barriers in the construction industry. Today's guest is a true force when it comes to innovation, design, and resilience in business. Margueritte Ramos is the brilliant mind behind Shade Florida, a company that has reimagined how we experience outdoor spaces, turning heat, harsh sun, and limitations into opportunities for beauty, comfort, and functionality. But what makes her story so compelling isn't just her success in the shade structure industry, it's how she got here. From political strategist to founder of one of the most respected shade solution companies in Florida, Margueritte's journey is one of reinvention, boldness, and community impact. She launched Shade Florida during a tough economic climate, and not only survived, but scaled her company with purpose and vision. From luxury hotels and iconic landmarks to municipal clients, her work stands as a testament of what's possible when you marry creativity with business grit. She's also a passionate community leader and a lifelong learner, having graduated from elite programs like Goldman Sachs, 10,000 Small Businesses, and the L-Band Scaling Program at Stanford. Let's welcome to the show, Margueritte Ramos, a woman who proves that stepping outside the box or the office can lead to extraordinary things. Hello, good afternoon. We're here in a beautiful afternoon in South Florida, and I have been honored with your presence.
Oh,
Margueritte Ramos. Ever since I met this lady working on a park in Miami Beach, I was impressed by so much of the talent that you have as a person, but also the quality of workmanship that you perform in your company. And so the level of attention to detail and attention to client. So we're very grateful to have been work with somebody like you and your company. So I would love for you to welcome our guest and let them know something about your company, anything you want.
Okay, but Patricia, first, thank you so much for having me here. I'm the one that's honored, and it was really an honor for me to work with you guys and to meet you, and I hope we have a long-term relationship working on other projects, because it is a pleasure to work with your company. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you so much for being here. A little bit about Shade Florida. So Shade Florida is a boutique awning company. We specialize in hospitality, commercial, governmental, and some very high-end residential projects. Our top expertise is in louver roof systems. It's the latest in shade, which we could talk about later. Retractable roof systems, big retractable roof systems for restaurants, which we saw at Claudie, and tension sails. So we are, that was actually how we started in this business. We started producing and designing tension sails and installing them all around Miami. So that's how we started.
Yeah, no, you've done tremendous work, and I'm so excited about exactly that. How did you start this business 13 years ago? I mean, you've had a long career. You've even been in politics.
Yes.
So how do you get to be in construction at this the stage of your life where you decided you are a typical woman that wants to do so much and is always servicing and contributing and never gets tired.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Let me tell you that it was a funny way how we fell into this business, my husband and I. So I had a 20-year political career. I worked for a congressional member. I worked on a presidential campaign in Miami-Dade County. I was very young then. I did a lot of different things. I even got to work on an inauguration in Washington, D.C., which was an incredible experience, and go to all the balls and dress up. It was so much fun.
Nice.
And then after that, the last thing we were working on were called petition drives. And the petition drive business in Florida pretty much dried up. We were able to get enough signatures for the pre-K4, which was a long time ago. I don't know if you remember that, which really started pre-K4 in the state of Florida to prepare kids a little earlier. And so that happened. And we had a mutual friend. Our daughter was swimming. And there was a mutual little girl who was swimming, and her family was Australian. And, my husband was Carlos, was telling them about, our business kind of dried up. We got to figure out what we're going to do. Margueritte needs to figure out what she's going to do. And they said, oh, my dad is moving here from Australia, or not going to move, but temporarily, to start a tension sale franchise business. Would you like to come? So Carlos says, yes. And I'm like, no, no. Carlos says, yes, we got to go do it. Because he used to see them all over the world. He would fly. He would love to see these beautiful tension sales. And so he went to I said, I'm not going to go to that workshop. So he went to Orlando. And then he called me like day 2 and he said, you would love this. You have to come. I already bought your ticket. Come. If you don't like it.
That's your husband.
Yeah. If you don't like it, just come back. At the same time, we're raising money at my daughter's school for a playground canopy. These kids were, they couldn't even touch the playground because it was so hot, little kids. So this is going on at the same time. So I went there, and then I saw that there was a real big hospitality portion to this, right? Hospitality needed shade. We were in Florida. People were coming here to sit outside, not to just, die of heat. So anyways, I said, oh, okay, so I'll give it a try. And I did give it a try, and I was able to sell. My first sale was a Four Seasons in South Beach. So I was like, okay, yes, this is for me. I like it.
So your husband, he knows you really well.
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah. I wouldn't have gone if he hadn't insisted.
And he actually he made it happen.
Yeah, he made it happen.
He couldn't say no.
He couldn't say no. Exactly.
So life before your company was as exciting, or can you compare the two? Now you with your company, before the company, I know you were in politics. I'm sure it was exciting too.
Yeah.
So, or what is the similarity? Is there, what drives the passion? Because you're a very passionate woman, and I know everything that you do is passion driven. And when you have the passion, you get the results. So before Shade Structure and after, what's the similarity?
Well, I really like people. I like networking. I like helping people. So in politics, believe it or not, you do help a lot of people. People think not, but you do help a lot of people. You work for initiatives that are going to, like the pre-K 4, or something for your neighborhood, or something for Florida. You're always working for initiatives. So the same aspects with owning a business. You have to like people. You have to be able to network, to grow your business, grow your brand. So that's really the similarity. It probably stops there.
Well, probably also the clarity on the purpose.
Yes, the clarity on the purpose.
Be driven. Sometimes people that don't have that passion and they don't have those outcomes, it's because there's no clarity on what they're doing, and they're just kind of
moving along
in life.
Yeah.
Like, but that's to me what I take from that, and I think that as what I know about you, passion is you.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely people. So tell me about, so you Shade Structure in 13 years ago when you started. I know it wasn't like something that you designed. I'm going to do this, and you did it. You kind of fell in your laps.
Yeah.
How do you go from there to where you are today, where you're growing the brand and it's growing nationally? So how do you do that?
Well, as I'm moving along, I'm going, wow, I really wish I had a business degree. Wow, why did I get a political science degree? But then I said, okay, well, I did work 20 years with that degree, with the knowledge so why didn't I get a business degree? And then as I'm going along, I found out about the Goldman Sachs program, which is 10,000 small businesses, if you're a small business owner, you should definitely look into that, because it really will change your life.
Which was your cohort?
My 6.
I was
6.
I was there too.
You were in 7 or 8, no?
10.
Fabulous program.
Very good.
So
program.
I took that program and I learned so much. And from there is when I started to, my business started to grow. And I think like about 4 years after that, somebody asked me the question, like, how much percentage have you grown since you did Goldman Sachs? I think 3 or 4 years. And it was 550%. I had no idea. I did the math. I was like, oh, wow. I knew the numbers were growing, but I didn't, see that big number. So that, and after that, I did another program at Stanford, which I think I told you about, the L-band program, which is on scaling. So, that's really the way I taught myself, because I was like, I have to learn how to, I have to learn this. I don't have.
And while you're doing it.
And while I'm doing it, yeah. And while I was doing it.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a blessing that business owners, they have access to those programs.
Yes.
That, for the most part, they're free.
Yes, exactly. The Goldman Sachs is a scholarship, and it's like, I'm going to the summit. Are you going to the summit?
When is it?
The summit is next week.
No.
It's in Washington, D.C., and this will be the third one I go to, and I'm very involved with voices, and we even have Martha Stewart speaking to us.
Oh my God.
We have so many like national speakers like that. It's going to be really fun.
I went to one.
You went to one?
Yeah. Very, very good. They bring
Yeah.
a lot of good speakers.
They
no,
do.
I haven't been there again.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I stay active with that group. I'm very grateful, and I still do a lot of the seminars. Always to learn, right? You always have to learn.
Always learning.
Yeah.
So did you decide, okay, this is the niche I'm going to focus on?
Yeah, and it was empty. So the niche was empty. There was really like awning companies and me, pretty much, because I didn't fabricate awnings or anything like that. So I really learned what, you know, and I saw that the need was who were the first people going to buy from us after we came out of the real estate, dip.
Yeah.
It was hotels, right? Because we're a tourist community. So those I went straight after the hotels. That's how I ended up selling the Ritz. I said, these are the people that have the money now, because nobody really, it was really dry, you know, for that period of time. And I really learned about hospitality, and I really love to travel. So I love hotels. And so it was perfect for me. Right. So yeah, so that's really I realized, you know, I really have the corner of the market, because nobody really has the knowledge that I have, and, you know, really,
and the
expertise and where I'm going and everything. So.
And so when you got into Goldman Sachs, what was the biggest shift, the biggest learning opportunity? What made the difference when you were going through that program?
There was so many points, but look at your numbers every week. Don't forget to look at your numbers every week, right? You're moving so fast because, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to go clean this, I got to do, you're just moving so fast when you're starting. Look at your numbers every week. All the lessons in marketing. Oh my God, so many lessons in marketing. Probably those are the two things, and then all the interactions with everyone. I was very lucky because Goldman Sachs, about 2 years, maybe 2 years after that, they said, okay, if you want to bid on anything that we buy, here's the bid document. So I read it, and I was like, oh my God, I don't fit here anywhere. Of course, you can't expect that they're going to buy shade structures. So I'm not going to put it under marketing, right? Maybe they're going to have an event and they want to have, some special shade structure. I filled it out within a week. Somebody in Goldman Sachs in London saw it, and the Conrad in New York City has 2 city blocks. And they called me, and they didn't tell me about the 2 city blocks. They said, we have some awnings that need repair. And I said, okay, where is it? In New York City. I said, okay, I'm going. I'll be going. And when I get there, Google didn't even show that they had, because I looked it up. I go, these people have like 2 awnings. They're going to pay me to go. Okay, you got to pay me. I'll go. So when I got there was 21 structures, and they were really not repairable. So we got that whole contract.
Wow.
And that was really a fluke, because if somebody would have looked at that bid document, I don't fit here. Okay, I'm not going to apply. But I applied. So.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. You never know.
You said yes.
Yeah, I said yes, exactly.
And that's important. So 13 years in business, there must have been moments where it was tough.
It's very
scary.
Tough still. Today was scary.
Today was scary.
Today was scary, yes.
So how do you deal with fear?
I try to do the breathing, but I figured out a solution right away. So I had my project manager come. She goes, I think this project's going to be canceled. And I said, what do you mean it's going to be canceled? She goes, because the city says we have to do this, and we can't do that on the structure. We can't attach that fascia on the structure. I go, yes, we can. We can do a cladding. We could do a freestanding cladding. And she's looking at me like, are you sure? I go, here, come here. Let me show you 2 pictures. I pulled it up. I wasn't going to lose a contract, and I knew I had to find the solution. So that's why when I called you earlier, I was driving to Jupiter to speak to them about the rendering that we did, which looks like it's all going to end like a big happy ending, So, yeah. It was scary today, but today it's happy.
But what's the biggest challenge you've had in your business?
The biggest challenge has been where I had unfortunately, a team member made, a big mistake on a project, and we had to pay attorneys. Yeah, that was our biggest challenge. That was the biggest kind of like most difficult, right? It's been the most difficult thing, I think, because everything else you can overcome, sometimes you don't lose, sometimes you win bigger or whatever. But when it's something like that, like, oh man, it's tough.
Yeah. So how do you get yourself to be able to? How do you get yourself to go through that? Because you're very passionate. You're a very happy person, joyous. And I ask because I also have
Yeah,
stress and challenges, and I think what makes a difference is the mindset.
it's a mindset.
So how do you get your mindset to be in the
Yes.
right place so you can go solution driven? You take action more than we would not because of the fear. Because fear stops us.
Right. So first, I think, yes, fear stops us. First, I think is having really good girlfriends, right? So I had 3 girlfriends that I called them. I rarely call them to, complain, but when I call them and say, and they pull me up, right? So my one friend Marta, I told her, "Oh wow, I got this really big problem. This is going to happen." She goes, "Who cares? Next week or next month, you're going to have another door open for you. You know that." And I go, "Yeah, she's right. She's right. I got to change my mindset." So it's about changing. It's not that easy, right? So every day, since many years, I sit outside and either I listen to a meditation or I try to meditate every single day. I'm listening to a very long podcast lesson. I think it's 28 sessions or whatever. And that's, it's all I always have to remember, I'm in control. I'm in control of my mind, my attitude, and my results,
Your thoughts and your emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. And that's how we grow also.
Yes, exactly.
That's how we grow. And so you are the CEO of your company.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, where do you see yourself in the next 5-10 years? Are you working towards having a team, a professional team, growing the company, or do you want to keep it the same, the way it is? How do you see it?
I really see myself, I've been struggling to find an in-house operations manager. That's really what I need. I know that I absolutely need that. I've tried a couple times. So if anybody's out there as an operations manager, please send me a resume. So that I know that having an operations manager, and I could see myself in 5 years just focusing on what I love, which is sales and marketing and traveling more. So that's really what because it's really, the brand is really well known.
Yeah.
It's just, I just need someone that just does operations.
Execute.
And you're an operations brain. Your thing is operations, no?
Mine personally? Well, I've been more focused on the strategy of the company.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO.
Yeah.
But my biggest strength is probably networking also.
Okay.
This is when I'm like, if you do the personality
Yeah.
chart, it's when I'm happy, flowing. It's when I'm dealing with people and servicing people. I love people,
Me too.
I love to look at people in the eye and connect with them.
Same.
Now, this industry, in order for me to be where I am, I've had to train myself to be execution.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, we can dream, we can have ideas, but the power is in execution.
Mm-hmm.
And so Emilio also focuses on that area, but what I'm really focusing on is getting really, really, really good at processes.
Mm-hmm.
And the team I have, that's their strength.
Mm.
Not necessarily mine. So I understand the strategy, but the money and the profit is in the processes.
Yes, it is.
And so when I went to Goldman Sachs, my biggest takeaway was the people portion of the program.
Mm.
It was like, wow, I never thought about that. It was in 2017 that I did it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not have that focus.
Mm.
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a result of that, I changed so much. I stopped myself from hiring.
Mm.
I wasn't good at it. And it's not that I selected bad people or not. It's just that there's a process to selection of the right person and the right leadership. It's not that it can be you. It can be somebody like you.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to people, having people that are going to be successful in your company. Mm-hmm. And so I'm grateful to the company
my company that allow me to learn so much.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't think this conversation was going to go that way, but hey, you know what? Somebody out there might have the same situation, right?
That's one of the other things about Goldman Sachs. We were in a room with 33 different people, 33 different companies like us with the same pain points, with this, to be able to talk on that length of time, 100 hours we spent on that course, to be able to interact with people, small business owners suffering like us, and somebody finding solutions, that was a blessing.
Yeah. And also, the other thing that when we are in our businesses, we are exactly doing that in the business.
Mm-hmm.
By accepting that program,
you're out of business.
We have to, it was challenging also because you are not used to taking time away from the business to focus on the business.
Yes.
And so that was a big one too, because you felt like, I don't have time for this, And as a business owner, we need to prioritize making time to learn, grow, and evolve.
Yes.
Otherwise, we keep making the same mistakes, and we don't even know until it's a crisis. That also was a game changer. And from that point forward, I kept working on my personal development. And the more I do it, the more passionate I become. The better I become as a leader, the better my people.
Right.
And then investing in my people, it's also critical. Because, we want to hire people that know more than us.
Exactly. 100%.
And that, when you are the one that knows the most, we have a problem. And so, and allowing other people to shine.
Yes.
And that has been so inspiring for me. Seeing people that with my other life history, maybe they were not ready, but mentoring them to be successful in their capacity has been so rewarding. And sometimes I hope our listeners can take away some of that, because that, as a business owner, as we get to exit our business somehow, because we're not here forever.
That's right.
We can establish the team. So again, are you taking steps towards that, because you have been in business 13 years. So,
I've been in longer, but with the Shea Florida name, and so this industry 20 years, but it was mostly Carlos and I. It was just, it wasn't like we had a team. But yes, team member is very important. One of the biggest sessions that we had in the L-Band was really making all of your team members feel like they're the owners of your company. Once they feel that they own the company, then you have succeeded in putting together a really good team.
Yep.
Everybody feels ownership.
Yep. And let's go to marketing and sales, because that is crucial for the growth of a company.
Yes.
And keeping it up. So tell me, if you were to teach somebody about sales and marketing or networking or connections, let's say sales, capturing a sale, what are the 3 key takeaways that you say, if you are going to be successful in sales, these 3 things need to happen?
So for sure, if you're starting out and you don't have a lot of money for to go into a trade show, I would say, for just my example, I really needed to have a connection with architects, because architects are the ones that are going to specify my product. So how could I do that? I have a possibility of teaching them a lunch and learn, a CEU course. They get 1 credit, which they need for their license. And so if that's my case, but somebody else's case that, let's see, sells computer software, right? You would have to go, you would be able, networking would be your first thing if you had limited budget, to go to like organizations, chambers of commerce, any organization, business organization like that. Reach out to your network, make sure your LinkedIn is up to date, and work your LinkedIn list. But that would be the first thing I would say, is to find, now once you have money to go to trade shows, if you're a small business owner, you can go to trade shows. That's where you're going to find a really good source for yourself. And then don't be afraid to call anybody. So because you need to fulfill something, you need to get to somebody oh, I saw that Patricia, so and so on my LinkedIn. Can you introduce me? Don't ever be afraid to ask.
So once you make the connection in the trade show, what happens after?
After that, first of all, you come back with your short list, the short list of people that definitely want the product in the future, specify you, whatever it could be. And that's, focus on sending everybody an email, thank them for stopping by your booth, but focus on your short list. We also do, when we go to the AIA Florida trade show, we also take a group of architects to dinner, especially the ones that have specified us, that are always thinking of Shape Florida. So we, thank them by sending them to taking them to a very nice dinner, things like that.
And so, how long is your sales cycle?
My sales cycle could be a year, could be 8 months, sometimes rarely it's 3 months, but it could be anywhere. Like I'm working on a hotel that's going to start in 2027 now. But I'm working on another hotel that I've been only working on for about 6 months, and today they said, hey, we're going to move forward now. And I was like, wow, that's very fast.
Fantastic.
That was fast, yeah.
That's awesome. But in our industry, it's a
long time.
In ours, sometimes it's 3 years.
Yeah, because you do bigger stuff than us. Yeah. We're the end. You guys start from the beginning.
It's long, but how do you select your customers? Do you go to everybody that calls you, or do you have a selection process?
Yeah. So a lot of our referrals come from architects or general contractor owners reps. Those are relationships that we have been cultivating for years. So most of them, thank God, come from there. But a lot of people do find us from Google. So, we definitely qualify them. We qualify the customers. If they're calling for a particular item, we qualify them and, then move forward that way. Yeah.
When you started getting work in this space, because I'm taking myself back to the beginning, you're so excited and passionate, and you believe in your product so much, you can't wait for somebody to start trying it. What was that project that told your heart and your brain, this is a real thing, and it was a turning point, and from that point forward, you skyrocketed?
I really think it was that first job that I sold to the Ritz-Carlton, because it was Ritz-Carlton, Mandarin Oriental, and Four Seasons. Pretty much in a 5-year period, I had other than small jobs in between, but maybe a 3-year period. And that was like, oh yeah, this is my niche. This is me. So that was probably it.
And you were fascinated with having the experience of making the decision.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And what's something that if you had a magic wand, I had this question asked to me, and you had to change 3 things or obtain 3 things from whether it's the industry, things that you would want to see different, your community, stuff that is in your heart that I would love to see, because I know you're a woman of service and a woman of hope. What would you want to see different in the next 10 years?
In my community.
That you might not have control over.
Oh.
In the industry, anywhere, in the community.
Yeah. That's a tough question.
No, it's not. Not for you. Not for you.
In my industry, I would like to see more synergy but it's I would say it's a kind of new industry. So a lot of businesses kind of like mine, right, that are growing now. Before there wasn't. I mean, it was people would say, oh, who do you compare to? And I said, there's really not anybody like Shape Florida. Either you're an awning maker or not, So I think in our industries probably be more synergy, right? So now there's more like people, more synergy, which really there's not a lot right now. In my community, what would it be? People walked more and didn't block the roads with traffic. Let's see.
But in the way construction business is done, is there something you would want to see different, or you appreciate?
Yeah, I mean,
where you are.
I feel like what would I feel that would be really impactful? In my case, it would probably be really the operations manager. Would make a world of difference, because then I could have more time to go out and do even more. I've always wanted to do, complimentary shades for, very low income housing units and things like that. But I never have the time. I
Yeah.
never have the
That
time
will
to
free
get
up your
there.
time.
That would free up my time.
Definitely, that's the answer that I was kind of
Yeah.
waiting, because there's always for us, there's always an opportunity for
Yeah.
to grow more.
Yeah.
But how do we free up our time?
Mm-hmm.
Is it processes? Is it people? Is it
Yeah.
capital?
Mm-hmm.
If you had more capital, I could do more. If you had more, more people, or the right people,
Yeah.
I must say,
Yeah.
I could do more, grow more, and I could be here.
Yeah.
These are the questions that are not necessarily easy to answer,
Mm-hmm.
but they could make a difference in our business.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, easily, when there's a school and there's PTA moms, they get things done because you get a group of PTA moms together. Forget it. Watch out. They're going to get the shade they need. But that doesn't happen in a lot of low-income schools. That doesn't exist. Moms are working 2 and 3 jobs, especially if they're single moms. So those schools, those kids should really, have a comfortable shaded area to play in and things like that. And that's always been something I've had on my list of things to do that I don't get to. It's a shame.
Well, maybe,
but I can make it happen.
Maybe collaboration,
Yeah.
because now that you are voicing it,
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm a firm believer that when we say to the universe, to God,
Yes.
I want this, and there's clarity in our voice and power in our voice, watch it. Next week, you'll have something.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't know how to ask for help.
Yes, it's true.
And voice it. Because I'm sure somebody hasn't knocked on your door because we haven't expressed it.
True.
And that is that's important. Clarity is power.
Mm-hmm.
Clarity
right.
is power. So
Right.
watch it.
Yes.
Because I actually think we can give you some guidance with the operations person.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And this is the other thing that I have learned. We are in this industry, and instead of competing, if we collaborated more, we can all grow more.
I agree with that. 100%.
It's not a matter of how do I take business away from you. There is so much abundance, and instead of taking away, we could create opportunities for us and others,
Yes.
and get that awning in the low-income
School
or
daycare,
daycare.
which you have less money. Because at least the Miami-Dade County Public Schools have money, but the daycares have even less.
Yeah, because
Very, very
there's
limited.
people that want to give.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just talking about synergy, the new center that I moved to, there's 5 businesses, similar, and I was like, wow, this is great. I'm glad I'm here because now we can all work together. But nobody really had taken that flag up. So I started talking to neighbors, and they're like, oh my God, we're so glad you moved here. Because now, because like you have a party, your clients come, they're going to come to mine, vice versa. They're going to go to yours. And then we all have, synergy. We're all helping each other,
Yeah. Hey, women in design and construction, what is your opinion about, not that I want to be, because I am, for me, it's important that we all collaborate. I'm not about dividing or women, men.
Right.
That's not. But how do you, in this space, how do you have been able, and I guess, to carve or own a space yourself, probably because of that political career, because it's not easy either. How do you do it to show up? Because I've seen you in action, and you show up with your own energy, your feminine energy, but from a position of power, but not belittling people.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get yourself to own that power without becoming in a masculine body, in a masculine energy, because you're a very feminine woman?
Yeah, I think it's really the positivity, but I have an incredible mentor. Her name is Sylvia Coltrane. Sylvia Coltrane was one of the first women developers here. She built several large condo buildings, hotels. And she is one of the most elegant women that I have ever seen. I met Sylvia maybe like 7 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, I want to be just like her. So she walks into a room and she hears, the F-bombs and stuff. But as soon as she walks in, they respect that, she's a feminine, elegant woman, but she's got a brain that beats theirs. She's amazing. So I really try to emulate Sylvia.
Awesome. So how did she transfer that knowledge to you? Was she your mentor, or did you just see her in action?
No, I actually know Sylvia. She's a dear friend of mine. I met her in the city of Miami Beach. She was one of the developers of North Beach. And I met her and I said, oh my God, I have to be her friend. She's like, she's amazing.
I want to be her friend
yes,
too.
Yes, you would want to be her friend too. She's amazing. She came through Pedro Pan. I don't know if you know about that program that got the kids out of Cuba when Castro took over. So she, those people that came through that program, extremely resilient. But she never, she was always just elegant. She said that people would call her and her husband would answer the phone and start asking him about a bid. And he said, oh, nice talking to you, but you really want to speak to Sylvia because she's the owner of the construction company. You would pass the phone and they would be like, what? So it's, I think I learned a lot from Sylvia.
Awesome. So you mentioned resilience. I love that word, resilience. What is that for you?
So that really for me is like my husband tells me sometimes, we're firefighters in this business. We're always putting out fires. And I said, yeah, but as long as we put them out, because if we don't put them out, then we're in trouble. So resiliency says, okay, I have this big problem. I've got to solve it. And you just have to hit it head on.
Go through it.
Yes.
Go
Exactly.
through it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what the biggest challenge for you has been in the 13 years?
The biggest challenge is really the process is lack of an operations person. That's my biggest challenge right now.
It challenges you, your time, your freedom.
Challenges my time, yeah.
Freedom to do other things and to grow.
Right.
We got to get that one head on.
Yes.
Next time we talk, we're going to have a solution for that.
Okay, perfect. Or when are we going out together again?
Well, this is why I told you, we want to create our own mastermind, right?
Yes.
And so pick up the phone and say, hey, how do you do this? Because I really believe collaboration is where the power is.
I agree.
And so sometimes we are too proud to ask for help.
Yeah.
And we all do it. I don't think we got to where we are becoming helpless, but we can do more if we can reach out and
yes.
So let's practice it.
Yeah, okay, let's practice it.
You and I. We're going to travel together too.
Yes.
So tell me about success. How do you define success?
I think really, I'm so happy that my brand is so well known. Like I've sat in an airplane next to someone and talked to them. I remember I talked to this gentleman sitting next to me and he goes, oh, I follow you. I was like, he was an architect, okay? So I was like, wow, that to me, that's a little, little thing, but that was
a big thing.
That was amazing.
No, that's big.
Yeah, that was
brand
amazing.
Development, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Things like that, people recognize you or people call you, oh, so-and-so told me to call you that you were the person that could get this done. Oh, wow, that's amazing.
So your reputation. Too.
Reputation, yeah, your reputation, that you follow through, that you complete it. So that's success to me.
Is success, the profitability, part of the success equation for you?
Yes, of course. It has to be. Yeah, that's why we work so hard.
Yeah.
Right, so we want to see those, the bottom line.
Return in the bottom line.
The return. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do you, if somebody's thinking, wow, I never thought about brand development. How do you intentionally develop your brand?
You have to really work at it. It's a constant development of your brand. And, now it's so much easier than when we started out, right? Because now we have social media, we have blogs, we have this, we have that. And so now it's a lot easier. But when you and I we started out, it was, it was hard. And it was, email is really the most that we had, email, networking, stuff. And so that was really the way we did it. And I think that was that created long-term relationships, right? Because I think people even mention Marcus. Now we have saturation, right? Oversaturation. But I think starting out the hard way, people, I think, remember you more.
So thank you for that. Behind the curtain, who is Margueritte? Unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
I know you like to travel, and
Yes.
I know you have two daughters.
Yes, that's my passion, traveling. I'm a person that loves to talk to people like you. I love to know my neighbors. I love to, stay in touch with my family. I love to have, gatherings at my house. And I really love to enjoy life. I really enjoy to love life and help as many people as I can. That's my nature, is helping people.
Would you say that's your purpose?
I think so. I think my purpose is to help people because I meet a lot of people that don't know how to solve, which to me is something very simple that I could just pick up the phone and help them. So that makes me feel very good to help people like that.
And in the future, sometime in the future, are we going to see Marguerite again in politics?
Never.
I would love to have people like you in politics.
No. I would never do that. That's a different type of person. You have to have a very thick skin. There's a lot of, you see it, a lot of hate and, negativity in politics, even though that's the way to get things done. If you want to get something done for your neighborhood, your community, or whatever, you have to go that route. But there's a lot of negativity, and it's a job where you're always on. You never have downtime. It's constantly, people are calling you, texting you. I admire the people that do it. The politicians that I, follow and admire. I just take off my hat to them. This is a tough job.
Yeah. Well, and in my selfish, the selfish part of me would say, wow, I would love to see people like you that authentically want to help people. They have the energy and they want to do it. I don't know. I don't lose hope.
It's so funny. I mean, if you look at, Congress, Senate, you look at big bodies of elected officials, there's so few women because I think a lot of women feel the same way. They're like, I don't want to be on all the time. You know what I mean? I want to help people. I want to, I would love to do this, but they just can't be on all the time.
Yeah.
Or don't want to. It's not they can't. They just don't want to. And it's more like I feel like women are a little smarter in that aspect.
So in the future, in the horizon, what's the vision for the company? Where do you see what kind of projects do you see? I know you have a new
Yes.
brand, and not
Yes.
a new brand, but a new
a beautiful new louver
product. Oh my gosh, I fell in love with that.
Yes, very luxurious.
Where do you want to take that?
So that is really a beautiful hospitality product and beautiful residential product. It allows you to live outdoors. We learned that we need more air. We need to be more in nature. It gives us peace and to enjoy our family and our friends. And these products that we sell, that's what we know, that when we do that, when we sell our products and we set it up, there's going to be a lot of enjoyment under those structures.
Yeah.
So it makes us happy.
Yeah.
So with the new Amani, the new louver roof system, which we have in our showroom, we're very excited about that because it's really out of the box luxury outdoors.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, go take a look at that because even for ideas and
Yes.
And have a vision of what's possible,
Yes.
it's delightful.
It's beautiful.
It's
It
beautiful.
is beautiful.
So I congratulate you for being
Thank
a woman
you.
that always wants to grow and wants more and more and more and to serve people. And I think this is why God bless you because your desire to help others is so huge that you are always going to be abundant.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you to you for taking the time to stay with us and appreciate the hard work of Margueritte and her team. And thank you for the passion in construction, for deciding and choosing to thrive. Thrive in any economy, in any market, and serve others as much as yourself. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. We love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. This is so fun.
You're fun, huh?
I loved it.
Thank you for joining us in this inspiring conversation with Margueritte Ramos. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others in the construction industry. See you next time on Thriving in Construction, the podcast. Let's keep thriving together.